You've probably heard that LinkedIn is the place to be when it comes to landing high-paying freelance writing opportunities, and this is absolutely the truth. So if you're looking for an actual LinkedIn strategy on how to land higher-paying freelance clients, you're in the right place. With the right strategy, you can finally stop sending a million unanswered pitches. You can finally stop applying to a million jobs that just never get responses on freelance sites or bidding platforms. By the end of this video, you are going to have a strategy that allows you to get on LinkedIn, make sure that you're showing up in search results when clients are looking for writers just like you. You're going to ensure that your algorithm is trained to show you relevant opportunities that you can hop on right away, opportunities that aren't getting served to the thousands of other freelancers out there, so there's not as much competition. I'm going to show you what to do with your profile so that you're making the absolute best first impression you can make, which increases the likelihood that you're going to land that client. And then I'm going to teach you how to organically network on LinkedIn so that you have this really robust network of high quality freelance clients, the ones that are willing to pay a writer what they're worth, the ones that have budgets for copywriting and content writing. And definitely stay till the end because I'm going to share with you how you can quote unquote train your LinkedIn algorithm to help you spot high paying freelance writing opportunities. But there's a little mistake people make when they try to train their algorithm. Hint, hint, why you should actually not connect with other freelancers on LinkedIn. Stay till the end where I share that. The absolute first thing you're going to want to do when you get on LinkedIn is optimize your profile for search. What does that mean? It means when clients are going on LinkedIn to source or hire writers, that because your profile is optimized correctly, you're the writer that shows up in the top of the search results. There are 3 sections of a LinkedIn profile that weigh heaviest in search. So if you do nothing else, just having these 3 sections will make it more likely that you show up when clients are searching for a freelance writer. Those 3 sections are your headline, your current company, and your current job title. So yes, you are going to have to put it out there that you are a freelance writer, update your LinkedIn profile. And a lot of people at this point are probably wondering, well, I've never done this before. How can I just fill out that I'm a freelance copywriter? Isn't that lying? So rule number 1 in running a freelance business is that you never lie. However, you have to know how to appropriately market yourself. If you don't list yourself, bill yourself, hang your shingle, as they say, how is anyone going to know to reach out to you for those opportunities? When you update your LinkedIn profile, your title, your job title, offering freelance writing services, it does not mean that you're lying because you're not quote unquote a copywriter or content writer yet. You're simply telling the world that you're offering this service. And if they want to have a conversation with you, they can, where they can learn more about your background. So it's not lying, it's offering your services. It's raising your hand in the marketplace and telling the client that you are willing to provide writing services. Now, something I specialize in doing is teaching writers how to position themselves and really appeal to clients, even though they don't have maybe the most impressive writing background or they don't have published pieces. I definitely encourage you to check out my portfolio video right here where I share how to create portfolio pieces if you don't have them yet. So let me just give you a behind the scenes of what a client looks for, right? Because I've been freelancing full-time for over 4 years. I mentor freelance writers in my program 30 Days to Paid, but I also hire freelancers regularly to assist me in my digital course business. So I've hired email writers, blog writers, you name it. So I come from that angle too. And here's what most stands out to myself and clients who are looking to hire a freelancer on LinkedIn. Number 1 is going to be your photo. Obviously, we are very visual people. That's the first thing that's going to stand out to us. Having eye contact with the camera is going to be really important. You can look up the psychology of why people are drawn to faces. They connect with faces that are making eye contact with them. There's all the psychology behind why ads with people's faces convert higher. So you want to make sure that you have a clear photo, not a mugshot photo, not a selfie. If you don't have the resources to invest in an actual personal brand photo or professional headshot, there's a lot of free AI solutions. Now, granted, in the beginning, I definitely did not have the budget to have a headshot taken because I was unemployed when I began freelancing. I had to do everything really low budget. But now, all these years later, we have really cool AI tools that allow us to create a headshot out of a selfie. So do whatever you can to make that photo look as polished and professional and on brand as possible. You want your photo to really be on brand in the sense that if you're writing for maybe technology companies or something really corporate like like banking or finance, maybe you do want to look a little bit more polished and professional. Whereas if you're in fashion and beauty, it's okay to be a little edgier in those photos. Look at your environment, look at the other fellow colleagues on LinkedIn and see what they're doing, if they're successful, and gauge whether your photo is appropriate. And I really want you to like ruthlessly self-examine your photo and see, is this professional? Because quite honestly, if you reach out to somebody and say, hey, is this photo weird? Even if they do think it's creepy, they're probably not going to feel comfortable telling you, okay? I'm just being straight up with you. Make sure that you're looking at your photo in an unbiased way. I see some really creepy, off-putting photos that look like people are like in prison or something. So just, again, no one's going to have the courage to tell you that your photo is creepy, so you're gonna have to do that on your own. Okay, next behind your photo is the banner. You can create that for free on Canva. You want something that's really branded. I'll show examples of good banners. You want it to be, like I said, branded. You don't have to be a graphic designer. It just needs to appear professional and appeal to the client. And then your about section. So if you're following my methodology, you know the importance of having a website. So what I do is I repurpose the About Me page on my website into that About Me section of my LinkedIn profile. So if you don't have a website, you're gonna have to write that from scratch. But the About Me section is what I would say is like the equivalent to a cover letter versus a resume. So maybe your entire LinkedIn profile reads like a resume, but your cover letter or your about section should be the place where you can infuse personality, talk about who you are as a person, really sell yourself to the client. And again, this is where so many freelancers go wrong, is that they'll start talking about how they've always loved writing and they've been journaling in a treehouse since they were 3 years old. They don't necessarily care about that. They only care about what relates to the business result and outcome that they're looking for. I know that might sound harsh, but it's human nature where if someone says, tell me about yourself, we start talking about ourselves just thinking like, oh, they want to know who I am. The client, when they're looking at your site, wants to know what about this person, their experience, their skills, their professional background can benefit me in my business. So everything you write really needs to be connected back to what the client is looking for. So for example, I was an English lit major in college. I'm not going to talk about my English literature major unless I'm explicitly mentioning, hey, because I went to school for English, that's what parlayed into my interest in writing and being really a stickler about grammar, whatever. I don't have that written. I'm just giving an example that whatever you talk about of your background needs to tie into how it's going to benefit the client's business. That's what an effective About Me section does. Then they're going to scroll down to your work experience, where it basically has your title and what you are doing. You want a company page filled out. It's a little icon next to your title, which will be freelance writer. A lot of freelancers do this wrong. I would say 99% of all freelancers on LinkedIn don't have that little company page filled out. You're going to want to just make a free logo on Canva. It's free to create this company page. And what it does is that when a freelance client is coming to check you out, when they click on that little box to the left of your title, instead of being routed out to a million other freelance writers, they're going to be routed to your company page, which allows them to get to your website. It's small, but it's something that shows that you are really active on LinkedIn, that you're taking your online presence professionally. So don't miss that opportunity, because they could easily navigate off your page and just go search for another writer. Now, the featured section of your LinkedIn profile allows people to see that you've been published, that you have portfolio pieces, that you have writing samples. If you don't have writing samples yet, like I said, check out that portfolio video that I created where I show you what a portfolio looks like, how to do it, how to self-publish your own pieces in case no one has ever published you before. Again, I'm someone who started freelancing from scratch with no experience, so I do have the vantage point of creating my online presence totally from scratch without having published pieces, so I do like to walk writers through that process. But the featured section allows you to upload either PDFs or even live links of your work that you've done. So again, they can see kind of like a tidbit, they can see a snippet of your portfolio in that featured section of LinkedIn. You're going to want to definitely fill that out. And then most importantly, make sure that they can easily navigate to your writer's website. In the world that we're living in now, people want to do their background research. They want to check out your social profiles. They want to look at your website. So make that link appear in the very top of your profile. Make it appear in your work experience section. Make it even appear in your about section. Every call to action should be routing them to either send you an email or hop on your website where your email is provided, or they could fill out a contact form on your website. Now, I've talked a lot about tailoring your content and your online presence to your ideal client, but how do you do that? So the next step I'm going to walk you through is how you actually tailor what you're saying so that it appeals to the client, that it stands out to them in this crowded freelance world that we are living in. Here are some ways you can tailor your LinkedIn profile and your online presence in general directly to the freelance client. You want to address their niche or their industry and call it out often in your title, your headline, the hero section of your website. If you haven't chosen your niche, I have a free up-to-date guide telling you what the highest paying writing niches are and how difficult they are to get into. So definitely check that out here. Download it. It is free, but you really need to choose your niche if you want to stand out amongst the noise. I know there's other people online who will tell you that you don't need to choose a niche. I don't agree with that at all. If you're trying to get your foot in the door from scratch and you don't have prior experience, your best bet and how you can do this the quickest way possible is to create a niche, become an expert in a couple of areas, dominate those areas of expertise, and market yourself directly to those clients. The other way you can tailor your content to the ideal client, the one that you're trying to get in front of, is by having relevant logos and writing samples that you know will appeal to them. For example, I'm a writer for software companies. So when they see the logos that I have on my website and when they see the types of samples that I've written for other software companies, they immediately know that I am reputable, that they can trust, that I can understand their product and write for them too. It's called building credibility, having social credibility with clients. You want to display your logos, relevant samples. Again, how can you do that unless you have a niche? So it all comes back to the importance of a niche, because that's the only way you could actually tailor your online presence to a client. You also want to use language that they resonate with and that ties directly to their goals. So your ideal client who's hiring you for freelance copywriting and content writing, they have a specific goal in mind. They probably want to generate awareness, build authority in their industry, generate leads, nurture leads, help close sales, get somebody to click, get somebody to download. We have all of these goals as marketers and business owners, and we hire copywriters and content writers to help us achieve those goals. So the more you can prove to the client that you understand those goals, the more likely they are to trust that you'll do a good job, because it shows that you're focused on the outcome. So if you have a website or a LinkedIn profile that says, I'm a copywriter that specializes in helping you generate more leads for your fitness business with knowledgeable content that's well researched, they're going to see those certain buzzwords and know, oh, they understand not only my business, but they understand my goals and they can help me reach my goals. Therefore, I want to work with them. Another really underrated way to use LinkedIn is to organically network instead of just cold pitching. So cold pitching is definitely the most effective way to land high-paying freelance clients. That's why I created my entire course, 30 Days to Paid, around using LinkedIn to pitch directly. But there's other activities you need to be doing as well. You need to be steadily growing your network, sending out those invitation connections daily to connect with people in your industry, not other freelancers, which I'll get to in the next point. You need to be connecting with people who are relevant. So that could mean adding multiple people within one company. Let's say you are targeting the software company Grammarly and you added their chief marketing officer. I would actually go and add everybody from their marketing department, maybe even their salesperson or their product marketing person. That way you're networking with multiple people within one company, or just somebody who could potentially be a good connection to have in your network. Instead of just focusing on directly pitching somebody, you want to make organic, authentic connections. And you can do that by doing something as simple as just sending a compliment. One of my longest standing clients came from me just simply sending a message saying, hey, I listened to your podcast episode. I really like it. Would love to connect with you. That same person came to me a year later and wound up becoming a retainer client. So you never know where those genuine compliments that, you're not even expecting anything to bloom right now, but you are planting seeds and growing a profitable network for the future. So let's talk about training your algorithm. I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I don't want you connecting with other freelance writers. It is not as savage as it seems. Let me explain. What I see writers tend to do, and the trap that they fall into, is that they connect with a bunch of other freelance writers, which is a good thing because you definitely want to have mentors in the space. You want to have colleagues in the space because you can get opportunities that way. However, your feed tends to get clogged up with freelance writers that are marketing themselves to their clients. And the more you engage and interact and like those posts, LinkedIn gets the signal that you should be seeing more of that. They want to send you even more posts of other freelancers who are promoting their business. Before you know it, your LinkedIn feed could be clogged up with freelancers that are providing education for their clients. Meanwhile, there's actual freelance clients who are posting about their needs on LinkedIn. Even before they go to post those opportunities publicly, they're posting them on LinkedIn, and you're not seeing them because your algorithm is trained to see what other freelancers are doing. This not only gives you kind of like a mental detriment because you fall into comparison and it looks like you need to be doing these strategies, or, why didn't I think of that? I should be posting. Look at all these clients that this person is getting. It really psychs you out mentally, and it also just deters you from you getting clients, from you doing what you need to do on that platform. Don't get caught up on what other writers are doing. Of course, it's good to see some information and some teaching when there's freelancers that are providing mentorship and really good resources and insights, but my recommendation is to train your algorithm so that when you do go on LinkedIn and you're spending that time scrolling on the feed, you're making the most of it. You're seeing relevant companies that you can pitch later. You see a post that you can like or comment, and you know that's going to boost you in the algorithm to show up in front of more of your ideal clients. I would just suggest that you play in your industry, what your clients are posting, what they're interested in, versus what you personally might want to see from other freelance writers on LinkedIn. Again, that's totally up to you and what you want to see on your personal feed. But if you're trying to get results quickly and you're trying to have LinkedIn serve you opportunities, that's the quickest way it's going to happen, is if your algorithm is trained to feed you those opportunities. When you start using the strategies that I outlined in this video, eventually you are going to start gaining attention from your ideal freelance writing clients, which is what we want. They're going to immediately start hopping to your profile, checking you out, seeing what you're all about. And that's why I want your profile to be in tip-top shape, so that when they do navigate to your profile, they like what they see, they want to reach out to you, and they want to work with you. So in the next video, I'm going to show you the easiest way to create a really strong profile and give you examples of people on LinkedIn who are doing it right, so that there's absolutely no confusion about how to build a strong LinkedIn profile. Do not miss that video. I'll see you there. Bye.